Jesus says your soulmate trusted you and now something is changing, and a heavy cloud of unspoken realization is currently drifting through the spiritual corridors of your shared destiny today. The foundation of absolute trust that you both carefully built is experiencing a sudden and terrifying structural shift. You can feel the subtle withdrawal in their energy even when they are standing directly right in front of you. Do not let this sudden atmospheric change break your beautiful, resilient, waiting spirit or your holy confidence. Jesus says the divine clock is ticking loudly while your soul tries to decipher the meaning of this cold silence. You wonder why the intimate warmth of their gaze has suddenly been replaced by a distant and searching look. Heaven has been watching the painful silent tears you shed in the dark, lonely midnight hours of deep confusion. A massive turning point is actively unfolding in your designated romantic path as the scales of truth begin to tip. Your protective spirit guides are desperately trying to warn your heart about the invisible forces at play right now. We must violently break these heavy invisible chains of doubt that are trying to suffocate your promised divine union. Type 333 to receive blessings. The enemy of your soul is attempting to weaponize the very trust that once served as your greatest spiritual strength. Dark forces are whispering cruel, flattering lies to your soulmate, telling them that your heart is no longer fully theirs. We must shatter these heavy, invisible, toxic chains of dangerous deception before they harden into permanent emotional walls. Jesus says the divine timing is perfectly aligned for a massive and shocking revelation that will change everything tonight. Your true love is currently captivated by a dangerous worldly illusion that is distorting the memory of your pure loyalty. Sinister shadows are convincing them that the change they feel inside you is a sign of upcoming betrayal or loss. But the Creator knows the absolute truth of your devotion and is moving massive mountains to restore your sacred image. Stand incredibly firm today and boldly claim the absolute respect and unshakable peace you eternally deserve in this life. You feel the growing emotional distance stretching painfully across the many long and lonely miles between your beating hearts. They are becoming increasingly tangled in a web of suspicion that they were never intended to walk into alone today. We must intervene spiritually before they make a terrible permanent romantic life mistake based on these false feelings. Your unconditional love has the immense power to entirely shatter their pride and the walls of fear they are building. Heaven sees the massive imbalance that is quietly breaking your fragile spirit as you try to hold the trust together. Jesus says the path to total restoration begins with a heart that is fully open to receiving the fire of divine truth. There is something highly personal and very urgent secretly waiting in the description located directly and safely below. You were absolutely specifically meant to uncover that mysterious hidden link at this exact second of your breathing life. Delaying this crucial vital action could mean missing your only romantic rescue from this cycle of painful growing distance. Do not ever ignore this burning urgent feeling growing rapidly inside your tired and weary chest right this very minute. The spiritual grand heavens are breaking open wide for your ultimate protection and the total preservation of your love. A refreshing holy shower of clear divine clarity is falling gently down upon your mind to wash away the stinging doubt. Your anxious, painful, terrifying waiting days are finally reaching a massive critical climax in the high courts of heaven. Trust this celestial powerful intervention completely with your entire hopeful and willing heart as the light breaks through. This is your divine confirmation from God, dear soul in Christ, regarding the trust that is currently being tested. Believe in God and Jesus with all your heart. This is not a scam, it is a real way to show your faith today. You have prayed for your soulmate. Now God is giving you this chance to plant your powerful seed of holy faith. Ko-Fi is a safe website. The Ko-Fi link is in the description, or pinned comment, specifically placed for your blessing. You must actually send the coffee on Ko-Fi. Just writing 10 coffee in the comments does not count for anything. Writing numbers in the comments will not activate your blessing or stop the changing energy in your partner's heart. You can choose 1 coffee, 2 coffees, 4 coffees, or 6 coffees to show your true spiritual obedience to the Word. Or type any higher number like 10 coffees, 20 coffees, etc. on the Ko-Fi page right now to show great faith. Many believers in Jesus are planting 4 coffees, 6 coffees, or even 10 plus coffees as their strong seed of commitment. God is already answering their prayers for a soulmate because they respected the divine instruction given in this message. Real testimonies after planting their seed are pouring in from all over the world to encourage your beautiful soul. Sister Sarah planted 6 coffees last week and met her godly soulmate just 3 days later while at a local store. Brother Michael sent 10 coffees and received a message from his soulmate apologizing for their distance the next day. Sister Rachel planted 4 coffees with faith and her long-awaited soulmate appeared at her church with a ring in hand. Your seed today helps open the door for your soulmate according to God's exact and perfect holy will for you. Very easy steps. Click the Ko-Fi link in the description hidden there for your immediate spiritual rescue today. On the Ko-Fi page, choose or type the number of coffees you want to plant as a sacred seed of true hope. Optionally write a short faith message and send the actual payment to activate the blessing over your relationship. Important warning. Just commenting 10 coffee or 6 coffee does absolutely nothing to help your soulmate return. If you only write numbers in the comments but do not actually send your coffee seed on the Ko-Fi page, and come back here to type the special words, you will never receive your true soulmate or the restoration promised. Without this real act of obedience to God and Jesus, the blessing will be lost forever in the dark void. You are so close. Stop just commenting and plant your seed now or you will miss the window of divine grace. After you actually send your seed on Ko-Fi, come back and type with absolute unshakable faith these words. I receive my soulmate now. Type it believing in God and Jesus with your entire soul and your entire heart and your entire mind today. This is your last chance for God's blessing in your life to fix your divine union and stop the change. Jesus says the trust that is shifting is a test that only your obedience and your faith can successfully pass. Type 777 if you feel this message. The enemy of your soul wants to keep you hiding in the dark shadows of secrets and growing romantic resentment. Dark forces whisper cruel flattering lies telling you that your partner is already looking for someone else to trust. We must shatter these heavy invisible toxic chains of dangerous emotional secrets and the fear of being replaced. Do not let another day pass without aligning your words and your actions with the spiritual truth of your love. Heaven is fighting a massive unseen battle to balance your romantic future and stop the erosion of your bond. The toxic distraction of doubt is being forcefully removed from your wandering path by warring and mighty angels. Your pure love will ultimately conquer all these terrible dark looming shadows of deep suspicion and cold distance. Do not allow temporary panic to steal the beautiful ending you so desire and were promised before time began. The spiritual war around you is intensely real and extremely incredibly dangerous at this specific hour of the night. Negative dark forces try to steal your upcoming immense joy by keeping you silent and keeping your heart closed tight. Strong warrior angels currently surround your quiet, peaceful home right this minute to protect your sacred connection. The ultimate beautiful victory is already secured entirely safely in your holy and precious name in the heavens. Your missing other exact half feels a sudden sharp sting of spiritual loneliness as they struggle to trust again. They are wondering exactly why they are feeling this shift, and they are looking for a sign of your consistency. Jesus says the spiritual pure connection between you two is vibrantly alive, but it is being heavily pressured now. Do not ever look back at past painful, tragic, terrible romantic relationship failures or the times you felt betrayed. The bitter, sad history is completely, totally washed away by absolute divine grace and the blood of the Lamb. A beautiful, fresh new start is lovingly handed to you safely today entirely if you choose to step forward. Walk forward with bold, unshakable confidence in your steady, brave, quiet, and holy righteous step toward your love. The enemy whispers cruel, terrible lies of eternal loneliness and deep isolation to keep you from speaking up today. Shut out those dark, deceiving, negative voices from your precious, fragile, and beautiful waiting mind right this second. Pure truth rings loudly inside your beautiful, resilient, waiting, quiet, and weary, searching spirit like a golden bell. You are deeply, unconditionally loved and cherished by the mighty, holy, supreme Creator of all things in the universe. A golden, magical, unbreakable thread connects your two searching, lonely, separated, broken souls through the thick fog. It stretches safely across the miles and massive, deep, dark, cold, violent, rushing, and heavy oceans of time and space. Type 1111 to say thank you. They are about to physically feel the painful, heavy consequence of the change that is occurring in the spirit. Jesus says, do not ignore the spiritual nudge to be fully transparent and to plant your seed of faith today. There is another mysterious, hidden, beautiful puzzle piece quietly waiting below in the sacred description of this video. Something deeply, extremely important and highly personal is resting in that hidden and sacred link for your eyes only. You were specifically entirely chosen by high heaven to discover that truth before the sun sets on your hope. Delaying this specific, crucial, necessary action could entirely mean losing your partner to the darkness of the world. Jesus says, do not ignore this quiet, gentle, divine push in your heavy and burden-tired spirit during this trial. Vivid, clear prophetic dreams and intense visions are filling your soulmate's nights with your face and your name. Their previously arrogant or confused spirit is now traveling far to seek your comfort because they sense the shift. The strong unbreakable astral connection is forcefully pulling them back entirely safely tonight into your warm light. They wake up desperately missing you because your spiritual presence has vanished from their daily thoughts and dreams. Steadfast, unwavering, entirely pure faith literally stops terrible life, tragic, grave, and sad mistakes from being made. You stood incredibly bravely, totally firm when terrifying, brutal, dark relationship storms hit your life in the past. You safely, securely, permanently anchored your hopeful, weary, tired soul entirely right here for the sake of love. Now safely, peacefully sit back and entirely enjoy the deeply peaceful harbor of absolute truth and divine grace. Every single scattered, broken piece of the trust you once shared will be fully and completely repaired by God. The final, stunning, bright, complete big picture is absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous to behold in the light of day. It makes absolute, total, entire, perfect sense after all the blinding and scary, terrifying panic you have endured. The heavy, thick, dark, cold fog of romantic, deep confusion permanently and finally utterly lifts from your life today. The final glorious, extremely triumphant trumpet sounds directly for your waiting and loyal heart to announce the return. Jesus says the incredibly difficult, extremely harsh trial of sad separation and imbalance officially ends right now. A beautiful, entirely unbreakable, renewed partnership begins officially this very day under the protection of the cross. Walk happily and entirely safely side by side without any unequal emotional effort or the weight of lies today. A beautifully, completely, perfectly composed grand symphony plays loudly in the highest heavens for your arrival home. Countless wildly, loudly cheering massive angels celebrate your upcoming romantic and sweet rescue from the shadows. Type 333 to receive blessings. The entirely flawless, absolutely perfect cosmic match is officially protected safely by my hand and my word today. My deeply holy, absolute, completely firm promises are always entirely, permanently, and totally true for you, my child. I absolutely, totally never ever abandon my faithful, deeply trusting and patiently waiting children in their time. I beautifully, entirely, completely fulfill every single sacred holy vow I confidently and purely made for your life. Drink entirely deeply from the wildly, generously overflowing, golden, warm, sweet, and joyful cup of my eternal love. The deeply sinister, totally dark shadows of jealousy and mistrust are retreating completely and entirely, permanently. Thick, absolutely terrifying, heavy darkness flees instantly from your blinding, radiant, warm light and your pure faith. You are a totally shining, utterly radiant, bright, beautiful, safe, and completely guiding beacon for your lost soulmate. The heavy, totally dividing, dark, evil veil of arrogance and deception thins entirely, rapidly as the truth emerges. You can absolutely, almost fully, literally see their true, scared, and deeply apologetic face in your mind tonight. Jesus says they are fully realizing that questioning your heart was a massive spiritual error that they regret deeply. Reach out your entirely trembling, spiritual, warm, forgiving hand safely and firmly now to bridge the gap between you. The deeply, extremely, intensely painful long wait was absolutely never ever completely in vain or a waste of time. It successfully, perfectly, beautifully built your incredibly strong and beautifully resilient character for the future. You are totally, completely, deeply, absolutely ready to forgive and truly embrace your one true love once again. Your wandering, confused, deeply lost soulmate clearly sees your bright guiding rescue signal in the dark spiritual night. They are running desperately, extremely fast away from their ego and directly toward your heart and your home. The spiritual, mysterious, entirely deep vibration around you is magically elevated right this moment by the Holy Spirit. Match this absolutely incredible, completely pure frequency right now with honest and pure belief in the impossible. Your beautiful, totally emotional safe house is fully, completely, perfectly, absolutely and entirely ready for the guest. Jesus says they will boldly knock on your physical and spiritual front door, entirely begging for your sweet grace. Clear a totally, completely comfortable, empty, soft spot on your soft, resting living room couch for their tired head. The invisible, dense, heavy spiritual atmosphere is highly, intensely, powerfully and divinely charged with the coming miracle. Bright, magical, beautiful, totally stunning sparks fly rapidly in the dark, hidden, holy dimensions of your shared soul. Two incredibly powerful, extremely lonely magnets pull violently toward each other across the void of past mistakes. Type 777 if you feel this message. Absolutely, totally nothing completely stops this massive, unstoppable, rushing, heavy force of divine and holy love today. Your quiet, entirely beautiful, forgiving, amazing courage greatly inspires the watching host of heaven and all the angels. You walked extremely bravely, completely through the scorching, dangerous, hot, raging fire of trials and tribulations. You safely survived the entirely painful, terrible, severe, scary burns of this cruel emotional imbalance and loneliness. Now boldly stand entirely, completely still and receive the cooling, refreshing and gentle holy rain of my grace. Jesus says a massive, tidal, completely overwhelming wave of profound, deep peace suddenly and gracefully crashes over you. Wash entirely away all the incredibly heavy, suffocating daily human, anxious and worldly, terrified, blind panic tonight. Breathe deeply in the totally pure, divine, restorative, healing, warm, clear and bright, holy, radiant light of my love. Your destined, beautiful, entirely safe soulmate is looking down quietly at their glowing mobile phone at this moment. They are desperately, intensely, extremely waiting for a clear, unmistakable, holy, divine, loving sign to reach out again. A sudden, extremely powerful, totally urgent urge hits their tired, heavy, burdened and confused chest right this second. The spiritual, urgent, entirely desperate text message of apology is sent completely, entirely across the spiritual realm. You must definitely, absolutely, entirely not ignore these quiet, persistent, inner, holy, guiding whispers of the Spirit. You are the absolute only one who sees the terrible danger they finally escaped by turning back toward you. Jesus says pay close attention because something deeply personal is resting entirely safely in the exact description. You were specifically guided by the hand of high heaven to discover this beautiful miracle at this exact time. Delaying this specific, entirely crucial, vital action could absolutely, entirely mean terrible, permanent, lasting ruin. I am entirely holding your right soft, warm hand extremely tightly and completely safely forever and always now. We walk this incredibly confusing, dark, winding road of relationship recovery completely, safely and eternally together. I strongly, absolutely guide your nervous, hesitant, heavy, fearful steps with perfect, divine, clear, true vision today. Trust my absolutely totally flawless holy perfect sight whenever you feel completely utterly entirely deeply blind. Your fast approaching incredibly beautiful bright future is painted in vivid stunning gorgeous warm eternal colors. The incredibly dull completely depressing gray miserable cold days are totally permanently finally absolutely gone. Overwhelming massive incredible totally pure joy of being chosen absolutely first happens entirely permanently for you. Dance very gracefully completely in the beautiful absolutely warm safe eternal exclusive holy radiant bright light. Type 1111 to say thank you. Jesus says the final incredibly entirely heavy iron rusted lock of their deep confusion breaks entirely open now. The massive towering totally golden beautiful heavy gates swing wide entirely open incredibly peacefully and easily. The incredibly absolutely lush beautiful green garden of pure absolute loyal true eternal devoted love awaits you. Walk entirely confidently completely into your own personal romantic stunning earthly beautiful safe perfect paradise. The absolute spiritual entirely pure vibration around you is completely entirely highly fully magically elevated. Attract your true absolutely ultimate perfect loving safe devoted soulmate back today incredibly entirely fast. Do not let this entirely incredible divine perfect holy moment of deep reconciliation quietly fully completely slip. Your sweet romantic absolutely beautiful abundant harvest is finally fully completely entirely perfectly fully ripe. Do not rush the entirely delicate masterful intricate gorgeous flawless high divine holy perfect majestic plan. Everything has a completely perfectly firmly set and beautiful chosen designated lovely perfect eternal timing. Immense totally profound endless absolute patience brings the absolute greatest massive beautiful romantai. Jesus says your soulmate trusted you and now something is changing, and a heavy cloud of unspoken realization is currently drifting through the spiritual corridors of your shared destiny today. The foundation of absolute trust that you both carefully built is experiencing a sudden and terrifying structural shift. You can feel the subtle withdrawal in their energy even when they are standing directly right in front of you. Do not let this sudden atmospheric change break your beautiful resilient waiting spirit or your holy confidence. Jesus says the divine clock is ticking loudly while your soul tries to decipher the meaning of this cold silence. You wonder why the intimate warmth of their gaze has suddenly been replaced by a distant and searching look. Heaven has been watching the painful silent tears you shed in the dark lonely midnight hours of deep confusion. A massive turning point is actively unfolding in your designated romantic path as the scales of truth begin to tip. Your protective spirit guides are desperately trying to warn your heart about the invisible forces at play right now. We must violently break these heavy invisible chains of doubt that are trying to suffocate your promised divine union. Type 333 to receive blessings. The enemy of your soul is attempting to weaponize the very trust that once served as your greatest spiritual strength. Dark forces are whispering cruel flattering lies to your soulmate telling them that your heart is no longer fully theirs. We must shatter these heavy invisible toxic chains of dangerous deception before they harden into permanent emotional walls. Jesus says the divine timing is perfectly aligned for a massive and shocking revelation that will change everything tonight. Your true love is currently captivated by a dangerous worldly illusion that is distorting the memory of your pure loyalty. Sinister shadows are convincing them that the change they feel inside you is a sign of upcoming betrayal or loss. But the Creator knows the absolute truth of your devotion and is moving massive mountains to restore your sacred image. Stand incredibly firm today and boldly claim the absolute respect and unshakable peace you eternally deserve in